Welcome back to LDB Games. I'm Lord Darthbawlz, and this is a Raid Shadow Legends video. And in this video, I'm going to walk through my free-to-play, friendly, budget, demon spawn only dragon team. You'll notice I'm doing stage 19. I was going to try stage 20, and I did, admittedly, but the affinity really did me dirty. The affinity for stage 20 is magic, and as you can see in my team, most of my damage and debuffs, they're all spirit. Not to mention the rare is magic, so I can't go up to 21, but 19 works just as well if you are looking to just farm up as many points for this tournament as possible. So let's take a look at this team. I've got 2 rares. I've got 2 5-stars, and a 6-star that's at level 51. Not to mention only 1 completed mastery, and that's Fellhound. So let's start with Fellhound, because Fellhound comes in, he's actually my campaign farmer. So he is dumb slow, but he's built with some substantial damage on him. I bring him in for 2 reasons. I bring him in, 1, because he's got a hard-hitting AoE on his A1. And this helps me get through the waves relatively quickly so I can get to the boss and start doing damage. Now, I also bring him in because he brings a mini continuous heal, some reflect damage, and a block damage against the boss, which comes in kind of handy. It's some nice little extra utility. I'll pin to his video up top. It's an old video, but it is still a pretty good video on how he's built as a campaign farmer. I added Phantom Touch just for the extra damage. I'm not going to change it for this event, but I probably would, and I'll show you why when I get to Ghur. Let's talk about Magnarr. Magnarr comes in as my primary damage dealer both in the waves and against the boss for his double hit on his A2, as long as there's no HP burns out. In the waves, if there is one, I get a cheeky little stun, which is nice, but not a big deal. His A3 does a nice little chunk of damage. The debuff spread doesn't come into play against the boss. His heal doesn't really come into play either, but he's got a nice decreased defense on his A1 at a 65% chance, which is not bad. He is built for damage. 67k HP, 206 speed, crit cap, 235 crit damage. Enough accuracy to do the job, right? Against Dragon 19, it's plenty. Gorlos comes in as my AoE decreased defense. I need this to reliably get through the waves. I would love to change him out for Achak so I can get a block debuffs and strengthen, but it just doesn't work in this team, for me at least. Maybe it'll work for you if you've got better gear, more masteries, you know, what have you. But he's got a nice little turn meter fill on his A1, and he's got that HP burn on his A3, which he sometimes uses on the waves. I don't have it booked, it doesn't matter. Nope, don't have any masteries for him, that's right, forgot. He's built 220 speed, crit capped, he's not leveled up. That's an area for improvement in this team. Enough accuracy to do the job, decent sustain. Yeah, he could use some silver if I had it. I bring in Ghur. Now, Ghur is my survivability. Okay, Ghur comes in. He's got a cheeky little stun on his A1, which can help randomly in the waves if it happens to proc. It's only a 40% chance. But he comes in for his A2 and his A3. His A2 puts a reflect damage, just like Fellhound, and it puts the big continuous heal and gives my whole team an extra heal, which is huge. This is my primary source of healing for the entire fight. And against the boss, it's necessary. He also brings a double revive, 50% HP, 50% turn meter, which is nice because Gorlos cannot stay alive. Really bothers me. I happen to have a 3-star blessing on him, and so I took Nourish. Nourish increases the value granted by continuous heals, which is really nice. That makes this A2 even more effective. Now, I did farm up a couple masteries for him, And I did it for specific reasons, right? I want the Lay on Hands, increase the value of heals that he casts by 5%. I'd like the extra HP, which is nice. The extra defense. The damage reduction from AoEs. All of Dragon's attacks are AoEs. This just helps him stay alive. And increases the amount of healing he receives, so he heals himself more to help him stay alive longer. For his stats, I've got him 220 speed, sustain, barely enough accuracy, not really, to do the job. I don't really care about that. All I really want is for him to stay alive. Against the waves, you don't really need much accuracy for the stun, so I didn't really care. I put a little bit there, and it's enough to get it done in the waves. That's all I need. But I went for 50k and 3k, right? 50k HP, 3k defense to make sure he can stay alive. You'll notice his boots are at 15. These are defense boots. I'm saving that for the gear enhancement event that launches tomorrow. So this run will be a little bit better after that. Got to min-max wherever I can. I'm never have silver these days. Anyway, and the last one is Petrifya. Now, Petrifya is a really cool rare. I think she was actually in a past fusion as one of the rares for one of the old school fusions that we have. And she comes in as my boss damage dealer, which is weird because she's rare. And I don't have her built for attack, which you'll see. But the reason I say that is because her A3 is a triple hit, which is random. Against the boss, it doesn't matter because it'll all hit him. And each hit has a 25% books to 40% chance of landing a poison sensitivity. And if all hits land, it also places a poison. That's 100% right there. Not a debuff chance. That's 100%, which is pretty sweet. So she's got a poison sensitivity and a poison on her A3. Her A2 is an AoE double hitter, which is really good for the waves because it brings a decreased attack, which I didn't have in my hard team, which is really nice for getting through the waves. And for helping against Dragon, because I don't have decreased attack anywhere else in this kit, this team. And then the second hit has a chance of landing a poison, which gives me more damage in conjunction with her A3, which is really nice. And then her A1 is a double hitter. Each hit has a, 35% chance of placing a decreased defense. Just another way for me to keep this up against the boss. And if the target's under a poison sensitivity, makes it the big version instead, which is nice. Now, I happen to have a 1-star blessing on her, so I took Nature's Bounty, which means that when she has a chance of landing any of those baby debuffs, it's a chance of making it the big boy one, which means I can get a, that's at 5%. I can get a big boy decreased attack here, and it increases my chances of getting a big boy decreased defense here, which is really nice. How do I have her built? 190 speed. I couldn't really get her running fast, and her defense is not where I would like it to be, but she stays alive pretty well because I've given her a nice chunk of HP here. Almost 50k HP with enough accuracy to do the job. That's pretty much it. And then the continuous heals help her stay alive, which is really nice. I didn't bother with her masteries. If I did, I would go for sustain. And actually, the two masteries, I wish I had the resources to farm on her. So if you have a little bit more resources than me, go down for Master Hexer, get an extra extension on your debuffs for Petrifya and Sniper for the extra 5% chance of landing all the poisons, the poison sensitivities, and what have you, because as rare, almost none of them are 100%. The only one that's 100% is the conditional. Yeah, the A3. That's the only 100% debuff in her kit. So that's the team. So let's take a look at the team preset. Before we do, it's really important to call out. Fellhound's A3 that places the block damage will always place it on the lead champ in your team. So I have Petrifya in here, so she will take the block damage. I would prefer Ghur to be there, but their speeds are messed up. So every single time Fellhound places the block damage on Ghur, he goes before the boss goes, so he never has it up. Really annoying. So If you build Felhound faster, you can definitely put Ghur in the lead, and I would highly recommend it. You don't get anything from his aura, but that block damage on your Reviver and primary healer is kind of critical. When it comes to the presets, Petrifya and Ghur, I don't have anything going. I just want them to do their jobs. For Felhound, all I want him doing in the waves is using his A1. I need to get through those waves as fast as possible because there is a hidden danger in there. And then on round 3, I want him to just do his thing. Magnarr, I want him to open with his A2 and then not use it again so that it's ready for round 2. And then in round 3, I don't want him using his A3. For Gorlos, it's the same thing. I want him using his A2 and then not using it again, using his A2, and then in round 3, not using his A3. Now, when it comes to getting through the waves, like I said, I would love to bring Achak into this, but unfortunately, I can't get through the waves reliably without Felhound and Magnarr and Gorlos. And the reason is because of this dead champion right here, Luria. There's one of her in both waves. Now, I don't care about this 20 to 30 seconds due to this block damage from Crimson Helm. All that matters is that I survive Luria. Because Luria, right here, has a block revive on one of her skills. She targets my Gorlos, who goes down very, very fast. You can see he just died right there. And if he gets block revived, it is a wash. For me, there is no way that I can win, so Gorlos does need to survive, which means I need to clear these waves, especially Luria, as fast as possible, which is why I have the presets the way I do. With a little bit of silver, this could be a much faster, I should say, faster run for both survivability and damage, but pretty tapped out right now. I'm hoping we have a break after all this before the next fusion. Highly doubt it. But if you've made it this far, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button below on your way out. I'm Lord Darthbawlz. I'll catch you all in the next video. Enjoy your raid.